Hi guys, so welcome to a new video, and it's the time of the year where we rank our favorite stuff from this year. So let's talk about the best horror movies of 2018. So, as I said, today we are basically making a top 10 of the best horror of 2018. You'll see that it's not entirely movies, I kinda cheated on that, but we'll talk about it. For this list, I chose movies that may not be all horror. I put in this list thriller movies as well as mystery. For me, horror is a bit of like thriller and a bit of a mystery. It's not all just blood and guts and stuff. It's also not just ghosts and like jump scares. So in this list there's horror, thriller and mystery. Some movies are in those three categories. Some are just thrillers. You'll see. So I'm going to start from the number 10, and in my 10th spot is Halloween. I have never been a major Halloween fan. I've seen some remakes. I think I've never seen the original one until this Halloween, since there was going to be a new Halloween which followed the story like right after the original one. I decided I'm going to watch the original Halloween on Halloween night and then go to the cinema the next day. I think I went 2 days after, anyway, to see the new Halloween movie, and I really liked it because not only they made like a good slasher film. Usually you just think, oh, she's going to fall and they're going to grab, she's going to lose her car keys, stuff like that is just usual from horror movies. But they didn't really do that. They did your basic like chasing scenes and stuff like that, but you have to have those things on a slasher movie. And I really like the little things that they like kind of paid tribute to the original. It was for the OG fans, which I wasn't, but I liked those touches. Like the opening titles were like really similar to the original ones, and it just had like a few scenes that were like really similar to some scenes from the original, and I really liked that. And that ending was really like good. I really liked it. And I don't know, these movies are in order. I don't know if it makes sense that I give it a score, but yeah, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I may not tell you all the scores that I gave. You can see on my Letterboxd all the movies that I've watched. I logged in there, so I'll leave my Letterboxd link in the description so you can follow me. I'll follow you back. Yeah. In my ninth place, it's Apostle. Apostle, it's a Netflix original movie, and a lot of people liked it. I think the majority of people liked the movie, but this, I think, was a movie that either you love it or hate it. As you can see, it's not in my top 5 or anything, but it's in my top horror movies of 2018, and I quite enjoyed it. It had like a different storyline than what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting something like really medieval stuff from like the old days, which was, but it had like some other creepy stuff that I'm not going to mention because I think it's what makes the movie, and it doesn't necessarily have like the best ending. Like, it's not a happy ending. So yeah, it was a different movie, and mainly it was different from what I was expecting, so I liked it. 8th place is Overlord. Oh my god. This is only in 8th place because there was a lot of other movies that I loved, but this one, I don't know, I think this movie is a lot underrated. I don't see many people talking about it. It is produced by J.J. Abrams, which I would think a lot of people want to watch it, but I don't know, I never really saw anything talking about this movie. But it's really great, and I went to the premiere, I watched it on IMAX, and oh my god, like, it has a lot of war scenes, so there's a lot of shooting, a lot of loud noises, a lot of stuff like that. That opening scene is quite something. I left the cinema like my heart was beating really fast, like I was shaking, and it's not like it scared me that much, but it's just intense, and I highly recommend you watch this movie. I don't think it's in the cinemas anymore, but oh my god, you gotta watch it if you're a horror fan, and if you're into the zombies, you might like this. It's a different take to the Second World War, and yeah, I really liked it and I highly recommend it, so go watch Overlord. In 7th place is a movie that it's not necessarily like horror, blood, guts, jump scares. Like I said, I'm going to have here some mystery thrillers type of movies, and this is more of a thriller, and I'm talking about Widows. Widows is a movie that I wasn't sure I was interested in watching, but then I watched the trailer a few times and I got into it. Not like over and over, I watched it once, a few weeks after I watched it again, and I got interested, so I went to the cinema with my friends and watched it, and it is different. It has like a plot twist that I wasn't really expecting, which I always appreciate in movies. I feel like I've seen so many movies that sometimes I overthink it, and other times I'm just expecting something, and sometimes I'm just like really in my head thinking, ooh, there's going to be a twist, there's going to be a twist, and sometimes there's no twist and I get really disappointed. But this time I was really into the movie and I wasn't really thinking about twists. I thought this was going to be a straightforward type of story. This is basically about a group of women that are widows, and they're going to try and do a heist like their husbands were like planning on doing. They got killed. It's in the trailer and the first part of the movie, so this isn't spoilers. They are killed and they have to pay a guy, stuff like that. It's difficult to explain, but it's a heist movie. So I thought it was going to be a straightforward storyline, but it had like a twist in the middle towards the end. And yeah, it was great. It had like different type of shots. It's a different movie and it's not horror, but I recommend it. In 6th place, it's another like really underrated movie, which again, it's not exactly horror, it's more of a thriller mystery, and it's Terminal. This is a movie with Margot Robbie. And once again, this is a movie that has a twist in the end that I wasn't expecting. But to be honest, what drew me to this movie, besides Margot Robbie, which I love her, was the aesthetic. Like, it has like really beautiful set designs, really beautiful light. It has a lot of pinks and blues, and like the concept of the city where the story takes place is like really beautiful, and I just think it was something different that I've never seen. And this was actually the director's first movie. I think he did some short films, but this was his first big budget movie, and I was really surprised with it. I really liked it, and I never really see anyone talk about this movie, so yeah, it's in my 6th place, so you gotta watch it. And if you're a Margot Robbie if you're a Margot Robbie fan, you sure need to watch this movie. It's great. It's not horror, it doesn't have jump scares, I don't think, but it has like shootings and a bit of creepy stuff and killings, so yeah, I highly recommend. We now are getting into my top 5, and this movie, I was so excited. I had like the highest expectations ever for this movie. Unfortunately, it wasn't like the best movie I've seen this year, but it's in my top 5. It's in my 5th place, and I'm talking about Suspiria. Suspiria is a horror movie. It's horror. Some people compared it to Mother, but to be honest, I prefer Mother. Maybe that was because I didn't have any expectations about Mother, and like I said, I had really high expectations for Suspiria, but I never seen the original Suspiria. I wanted this remake to be a surprise, so I didn't watch the first Suspiria. I might watch it now to see if it's better, but this movie is a piece of art. Like, it is beautiful, it has great performance, it has great music. The story is also compelling. There's a bunch of horror shots and gross things, and that ending, oh my god, like I wasn't expecting. So once again, it's a theme in here. I love movies that have twists that I'm not expecting, but mainly it has some creepy stuff, and I feel like I need to watch the movie again to really experience it, because when I went to watch it, like I said, not only I had high expectations, but I was also like getting a bit sick. So, but I already had the ticket, so I went. Might not have like the fullest experience, so I need to watch the movie again. But it's my 5th place because I love it, and I love Dakota Johnson. And yeah, if you're a horror fan, you have to watch Suspiria. I would recommend it to everyone, but I feel like it's not a movie for everyone, so yeah, horror fans, watch Suspiria. In my 4th place, I would say this is horror, but it's not categorized as horror, it's a thriller, and it's Searching. Searching is my type of movie. It's that type of films where someone dies or disappears, and they have to follow some type of clues to find out who did it, and most of the times it's someone that we've already seen in the movie. And I love those movies. I love to like start thinking about who it is that killed or did something to the missing person. And this is different because it's all set on the computer screen. Everything happens in a computer screen. It's on iMessages and on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. Like, it's difficult to do this type of movies, but this is really well done. That's why it's in my 4th place. And I really didn't guess who turned out to be the killer. So yeah, I always love that. In 3rd place, it's a movie that I really liked. It's not on my 1st or 2nd place just because those movies have a different concept. This one also does, but I don't know. This was really difficult because I love all these movies. Like, the top 3 were movies that really stuck with me, and this one, I think it was the one that stuck with me the most, and it's Bad Times at El Royale. Oh my god, I love that movie. It has a great soundtrack, it has a great story, great like cinematography, uh, like great camera work, concept. Everything about this movie is amazing, amazing performances. Once again, it's a movie with Dakota Johnson. By now you've already like realized that I really like Dakota Johnson, and I think because she was in 50 Shades, she's a bit underrated. Like people just think, oh, it's that girl from 50 Shades, she's not good, but she's a great actress. She has done a bunch of movies, and like Suspiria and Bad Times of at El Royale are probably her best work. Both movies are amazing, but Bad Times at El Royale has something about it. Like I give it a 4 out of 5. I might actually change the score because I really like the movie. I did a review on it, so I'm not going to say much. And you might have noticed by that review that I really like the movie, so are you surprised it is in my top 3? So yeah. In second place is A Quiet Place. Like I love that movie. It's so different, like it's a really different concept. Uh, it's really creepy, it has blood, it has scares, it has a like a emotional part of the story. It brings something out of you. It is sad because the ending, damn, that movie is great. Emily Blunt is amazing. John Krasinski, he made the movie. He basically did everything. He wrote it, he directed it, he starred in it. Huge props to him because this movie is great, and I really hope, I don't think it is, but I really wish it was nominated for Oscars because it's great. Like I loved it. I love it as much as Bad Times at El Royale, but just the fact that he did basically everything in the movie, oh, I love it. So I think everyone have already seen this, but if you didn't, watch it. And this is the type of the movie where you should watch in the cinema, but you can't anymore, so watch it at home in the dark with no one, or at least no one that is a talker, because you really need to like pay attention to the sound. The sound is the thing in this movie, although it is about being quiet and being like not talking, but the sound, it what makes the movie like perfect. And I'm really glad I watched it in the cinema because I think it's a totally different experience. And in my first place, oh my god, I feel like I've done this like in the top 5 movies, but this is where I kind of cheated. This is not a movie, it's a series. It's a mini series. I think it's going to be renewed for a second season. I think it has already been renewed. I think they should just stick with it because sometimes you ruin series when you do multiple seasons. But yeah, for me this is a type of mini series, and I thought this has to be here because it's probably the best thing I've seen this year. And I'm talking about The Haunting of Hill House. I binge watched the whole series in a day. I watched all 10 episodes, all episodes within an hour. I watched everything in one day. Yeah. And it just well put together. The acting is amazing. The cinematography is amazing. The way they did it, like an episode per person, really brought out something different. And Mike Flanagan, which was the director and the person who came up with the series, is also the director for Doctor Sleep, which I'm so stoked about because if this series was amazing, I'm expecting the movie to be really good. So I'm happy he's the director for that movie, because just like I told you, I love the book. So anyway, let's get back to Haunting of Hill House. I don't know what else I can say. It's not your typical haunted house. It's so much more than scares and ghosts. The truth is, this is about a family, and it's more about a dysfunctional family and what the childhood does to a person. It's way more than like scary, but it has scary stuff. And just like I've said a bunch of times in this video, this has a pretty big twist in the end, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying that much attention, but I think no one really noticed, no one really guessed this twist. There's I don't think this is spoiler, but there's a big part of the series which is like guessing what's inside of the red room. And oh my god, when we find out in the last episode what it is, I really wasn't expecting, and I just loved the ending. It was as close as an happy ending as we would get, and I really liked it. I highly recommend it. It is probably the best Netflix series I've seen, and yeah, just watch all of the stuff that I mentioned because everything is great. So yeah guys, these are the best horror movies slash series of 2019. I could include more series, like I loved American Horror Story. I really liked The Purge. That series really like surprised me. And there's a bunch of other horror series, so if you would like to see a only series top of 2018, let me know. But yeah guys, these are my favorite horror movies of 2019. Let me know in the comments if you watched any of these movies. What did you think of them? Tell me your top 10 of movies, your top 5. Maybe there's some that I didn't watch and I can always watch them. And yeah guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!